Let's go to Simon now. What have you got for us?
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Susanna. Figures published later this morning on insolvency are expected to show that in England and Wales there's been a huge rise in the number of us declaring ourselves bankrupt. So we thought we'd have a look at exactly what declaring yourself bankrupt does actually entail, who should do it and who shouldn't do it. Well, what happens? Well, first of all, the most important thing is the responsibility for paying your debts gets taken away by the court. So you've got no debts, but you'll be bankrupt for 12 months. You'll have to continue paying monthly payments for up to 3 years, after which your debts will be written off, and you'll have it on your credit file for 6 years. Well, what about your worldly possessions? Well, you'll be able to keep reasonable household goods, things that aren't too valuable. If you've got antiques or other things like that, they may go. Your car, you'll be allowed to keep that up to, unless it's worth more than about £1,500, but you will, of course, lose any equity in your property. So, who should do it and who shouldn't do it? Well, I'm joined by Steve Rees from Vincent Bond, who are debt solutions experts. Let's look at that question. Who should do it and who shouldn't do it?
Well, it's important to understand that bankruptcy is one of a few solutions. It may well be that bankruptcy is the right choice for you, but to understand that, you need to know about the other solutions and find out whether they could be a better option.
So if you've got actual money coming in, you're making good money, etc., you may have debts which are more than that. Is that a bankruptcy case, or is that one of these other things like an IVA?
Well, at the heart of understanding your situation is your budget. When you've worked out what you earn and taken away your normal home expenses, you'll find what your disposable money is, the money that you can use to pay your debts. And when you understand that, you can actually see which of these solutions might be right. And as I say, for some people, the choice is then fairly straightforward, because a bankruptcy may be the only thing that someone can do, or indeed not.
Now, do you think it's true that some people have said people are seeing bankruptcy as the easy way out? Are people saying this is an easy way of getting out of my debts, or are they actually desperate?
It may seem like an easy way out, but we're not seeing that at my firm. Basically, people are coming to us and they're very desperate. They need help, they are struggling to make payments, and really they don't know which way to turn.
Now, it costs money to declare yourself bankrupt, and in fact, Sean Appleby-Simpkin wrote into us this morning and said, I'm confused by this. If you've got a bit of money, you can become bankrupt, but if you haven't, you can't. That seems a bit crazy.
Well, yes, there is a fee to bankruptcy, a court fee, and there's been a little bit of concern about that in recent years. And as of April this year, there is an alternative to that, where people have significantly low incomes or smaller debts. There is going to be an option there. But in most cases, if people stop paying creditors, which is obviously a big step to take, and save for a short period of time, they will be able to afford the bankruptcy.
And finally, of course, having had this on your file, it's going to be much harder to get credit in the future, isn't it? Particularly as the banks are saying anyone with a dodgy credit history is definitely bottom of the pile now.
Well, it's true that your credit file will record good history, bad history for 6 years, but you can recover from that in time. I think it's important for that period that you weren't borrowing anymore, but you can recover in future. It's not for life.
Okay, thanks very much indeed, Steve Rees. So those figures out on insolvency expect to show a big rise in the number of personal bankruptcies and company bankruptcies. Those are out later today. Back to you.
Simon, thank you very much.